The meeting will be called to order. We'll give our clerk just a moment to get settled and ask her to read the items that will be discussed in closed session.
Madam President, we'll be discussing item B1, Conference of Labor Negotiators, B2, Public Employee Appointment, item B3, Public Employee Discipline Dismissal Release, item B4 is a legal update, and item B5, Student Expulsion Cases. And we have no comment cards for closed session.
Thank you. So we will adjourn to closed session and reconvene at 6:30.
I'll see you in half an hour.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
The meeting will be called to order. Sorry. Yep. So would the interpreters please introduce yourselves?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul. I'm the Spanish interpreter. Buenas tardes todos. Mi nombre es Paul. Soy el intérprete de español y estoy en la línea de español.
Good evening, everyone. This is Oliver Thor. I'm the emote interpreter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thor. Thank you, Mr. Barajas. Next agenda item is report action taken during closed session. Mrs. Jefferson.
Trustee Rivas, there was no action taken by the board.
Thank you. Next agenda item 3, board action by separate vote, expulsion readmission case number A24-20.
Madam President, I'll move the item.
Second.
Thank you.
Second item.
Motion made by Mike, seconded by Linda, trustee Fowler.
Call the roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. My roll sheet, okay. Rebecca Sandoval, she's absent. Trustee Bastian,
Yes.
trustee Rivas,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Aye.
trustee Akara is absent, and trustee Jefferson is aye. Vote is 500.
500.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody, please stand. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you very much. Next is agenda item F1, Board President's Report. Just briefly, I just want to share with everybody the comments that I've been hearing from parents and some students in the district who I have the real honor to be able to communicate with. And I know that things are really challenging out there right now, but I want everybody, especially those folks who are in contact with the kids, to know how happy our kids are to be back in school. And some of the comments I hear from the parents is, my son or daughter, they were so depressed last year. It was so difficult, and they're like a different person. I've heard my student didn't necessarily like going to school every day, and now he or she can't wait to go to school every day. And they are just ecstatic to be back in the classrooms with you. So again, we know that these are really, really difficult times, but I hope we can all hold on to the fact that everything that you're all doing out there, it really does matter. And you are really important to the young people in your lives. So please try to hold on to that when you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, and know that you matter to those little people who you're interacting with every day. So thank you, everybody, for your work. Dr. Martinez?
Thank you, President Rivas. And I just want to piggyback off some of the things that you mentioned. It's been an amazing start to the school year, one that I don't think any of us will ever forget. When it comes to COVID, it's unfortunately the gift that keeps on giving, not only with cases and contact tracing and all the other things that we're required to do, that for some folks would think it's a public health, we're running a public health service here, but those are things that we have to do to ensure that, we keep our staff and students safe. And more importantly, we keep our schools open. And that's been our focus. Our focus is to keep schools open. But with COVID, are the unintended consequences that I don't know if everyone truly understands. Just one thing that, I'll just mention is just like with our air conditioning units, we went out, changed all the filters thinking that this was going to be the best thing to provide the best air quality, not only for staff, but for students. Come to find out, the unintended consequence of doing that was some of our units were shutting down because of that air filter. So even though we're doing the right work, sometimes the right work causes more problems. And then we're asked to troubleshoot that. But we have committed folks. I've heard nothing but amazing stories about teachers, custodians, office staff, grounds, maintenance. All these folks are stepping up and going above what they would normally do, because in a situation like this is what we do. This is what we have to do. Not only at school sites, but here at the district office, we've had a number of folks who covered classrooms, like going to schools, acting as an administrator for the day, doing whatever it takes to fill those gaps. So as a superintendent, I just want to say I really do appreciate the countless effort that everyone's putting in to ensure that this district continues to function. We know that our community depends on us. So we are going to continue to resolve these issues as quickly as possible and always be here, not only for the community, but for our staff and students. So I just want to say thank you for your patience. We're going to continue to get at it, and we're going to do the best we can to not only just keep schools open, but educate our kids. That, Madam President, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Next is agenda item G1, approved personnel recommendations. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion to approve the personnel recommendations. Take a roll. Trustee Bastian,
Yes.
trustee Rivas,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Aye.
and trustee Jefferson's and I.
Thank you. Next is agenda item H1, recognition Hispanic Latino Heritage Month, resolution number 964. I understand we have a comment card, Mr. I'm sorry. Do you have a comment card?
We do, Madam
Jefferson?
President.
Thank you.
Sí, buenas tardes. Nosotros sabemos que vas a reconocer el mes de los hispanos, pero también queremos hablar de los 7 meses que han pasado que no han hecho nada contra la maestra que está enseñando español en Grant High y lo que hizo a la comunidad ahí. También estamos preocupados que ustedes siguen usando a nuestras comunidades como un cosa bueno que estás haciendo, pero nos estás fallando mucho. No nos has dado ni una respuesta sobre lo que vas a hacer para los niños que están aprendiendo inglés, ni tampoco si vas a seguir los programas de dual immersion, porque antes de la pandemia ustedes dijeron que si no había unos números que iban a cerrarlo de nuevo, y la cosa es que ustedes no han dado nada de ayuda. El poquito que ustedes dieron, quitaron. Y eso no es justo. Estás diciendo que aprecias, tienes agradecimiento para nuestra comunidad, pero nos tratas como basura. Gracias.
Was that the only card? Okay, thank you. So I'll read the resolution. Whereas Twin Rivers Unified School District supports diversity and inclusion in education, which has brought invaluable perspective, experiences, and values to Twin Rivers and the entire community. And whereas we want to recognize the many people of Hispanic Latino descent who continue to make important contributions to our society in areas such as education, government, science, agriculture, construction, civil rights, medicine, entertainment, literature, sports, and the military, thereby adding to the vibrancy of the United States. And whereas Hispanic Latino Heritage Month is an opportunity to celebrate the spirit and accomplishments of Hispanics, Latinos everywhere. And whereas the Board of Trustees supports the planning of events and activities throughout the district during the month of September 15th through October 15th. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees for the Board of Trustees of the Twin Rivers Unified School District that September 15th through October 15th, 2021 is designated as Hispanic Latino Heritage Month and encourages all schools in Twin Rivers to commemorate this occasion with appropriate instructional activities passed and adopted this 7th day of September 2021 by the Twin Rivers Unified School District Board of Trustees, Sacramento, California, by the following vote. Mrs. Jefferson?
We need a motion, don't we?
We do.
I move,
I'll
I
move-
move the item, Madam Chair.
I'll
Yes.
second. I'll second.
Okay, so, motion made by trustee Bastian, second by trustee Baker. Okay, trustee Sandoval's absent. Trustee Bastian,
Aye.
trustee Rivas,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Aye.
trustee Akara is absent. Trustee Jefferson's an aye. The vote is 5-0-0 and it passes.
Thank you very much. Next is a consent agenda. Do any trustees have any items?
Sorry,
that we-
President Rivas, we
would-
do have some employees that we will be highlighting
Oh,
tonight on
okay.
that
Good.
resolution.
Thank you.
So we do have 3 district employees who really represent the invaluable contributions of the Hispanic, Latino Americans in our district and communities. So first, we have teacher Juliana Ramirez.
Good evening, Board President Michelle Rivas, trustees, and Superintendent Martinez. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for taking this time to honor Hispanic Heritage Month. This month is special to me because I get to speak to my students and my community about my heritage and background. I also get to recognize and highlight in my classroom the hard work of influential Latinos who've made a difference for their and our communities. People like Ellen Ochoa, the first female Hispanic astronaut in space, or Sonia Sotomayor, the first female Latina Supreme Court Justice, and Sylvia Mendez, whose family helped desegregate California schools. Now, though my own achievements have not been as outstanding as those Latinas I just mentioned, during this month, I also like to take the time to share with my students about my own upbringing and culture. I hope that in doing so, my students may realize how connected we all are, even across cultures and ethnicities. I'm a first-generation Latina. My parents were born and grew up in Mexico and came to this country as newlyweds and worked hard to put me through college. I was inspired to become a teacher not only because of the great teachers I had in my own life, but also because of the lack of diversity I saw in my education. This is now my 3rd year working at Woodlake Elementary School as a 5th and 6th grade teacher, 5th year as a teacher, and 14th year working in education. I look forward to continuing to not only provide a great education for my students, but also to continue to support them in learning about diverse cultures represented in our classroom, school, and district.
Thank you. Next, we have Executive Assistant Jasmina Flores.
Good evening, President Rivas, Superintendent Martinez, and trustees. My name is Jasmina Flores. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at tonight's board meeting to celebrate Hispanic Latino Heritage Month. I started with the district in 2001 as a personnel technician in the Human Resources Department. After that, I became an administrative secretary, and now I am an executive assistant. I've been working in the district for over 20 years now in different divisions. I currently work in school leadership. I work in the division that ensures the mission of the district, knowing that every meeting, every professional development, and every initiative has a purpose. The purpose of ensuring that every child has access to an education. And this is what personally motivates my work. I am a proud member of the Latinx community born in Honduras. I think that representation is very important for students to feel connected and relevant within the school community. So thank you for celebrating diversity, especially diversity within the community, within the Latin community. Thank you for acknowledging our experiences as integral members of the district and the community. Again, thank you for this opportunity.
And last but surely not least, we have Police Services Dispatcher Elizabeth Lopez Ortiz.
Good evening, President Rivas, trustees, and Superintendent Dr. Martinez. It is an honor to be here tonight in observance of National Hispanic Latino Heritage Month. I am a police dispatcher at Police Services and have been an employee of the district for over 3 years. I was born in Morelia, Michoacan, Mexico, and migrated with my family to Sacramento when I was 7 years old. Prior to working at Twin Rivers, I worked in finance for over a decade and felt that just wasn't doing enough for my community. A friend of the family mentioned a new career opportunity in Twin Rivers, and the very next day I submitted my application. You see, this district holds a very special place in my heart. I graduated from Rio Linda High School in 2007, and my 3 siblings also graduated from Rio Linda High School. I made lifelong friends walking those hallways and was taught by some of the most amazing educators who influence I carry to this day. Never did I think I would grow up to work in the district I graduated from, but I am very glad that I did. From a very young age, my parents taught me the importance of my culture and also of being bilingual, being able to use my skills to communicate with students and parents during their worst times and let them know that they're being heard is my biggest priority. Knowing that I am helping to make a difference in the safety of the students and teachers so that they can focus on what really matters, their education, and therefore helping my community that I love so much is what drives me to be the best that I can be on a daily basis. Gracias por darme la oportunidad de hablar sobre mi historia con este distrito.
Thank you very much for taking the time to be here tonight. And it's really nice to see such strong, articulate women representing within our school district. So thank you very much. We certainly do appreciate you, and we're happy that you're here. And we hope that our kids who see your professionalism will mirror those same behaviors and do as well as you all have professionally. So thank you all very much. We will next move on to the consent agenda. Do we have any items that any trustees would like to discuss or have questions on? Do we have any speakers to any of the items on consent?
No, Madam President.
Thank you. So with that, I will ask for a motion to approve as presented.
I'll
I'll
move
move
it.
the item, Madam Chair.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Motion made by trustee Bastian, seconded by trustee Baker. Trustee Sandoval's absent. Trustee Bastian,
Aye.
trustee Rivas.
Aye.
Trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Aye.
trustee Alpara is absent, and trustee Jefferson's and all. The 5-0-0, and it passes.
Thank you. Next is agenda item J, all communications, organizations, employee organizations. I understand we have some speakers this evening.
Yes, we do, Madam President.
Okay, we'll go ahead.
Our first speaker is CSEA, Vicky Gunther.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Martinez. Tonight, I just wanted to let you know that while your classified employees have compassion for our students, we continue to feel bullied and unappreciated by the district. The morale of classified employees continues to decline. The parties are still at impasse in regards to changing vacant positions and contracting out. The district continues to send CSCA leadership MOUs that violate our members' rights. There are currently 3 MOUs, all of which are pending because the district refuses to negotiate. CSCA does agree that at times the district needs to contract out classified work. However, CSCA believes this should be negotiated between the parties to ensure classified employees are not harmed when doing so. This morning, when I returned to the office, there was another MOU. Now the district wants to provide recruitment and referral incentive. CSCA understands that at this time, this may be a good way to attract new employees. However, offering new employees more than the 2% increase they offered to current employees, which hasn't been received because the district continues to want to change our vacant positions and contract out work without negotiating. This is not a positive way to promote the declining morale of classified employees. What incentive is being offered to current employees who continue to work during the pandemic? I have said this several times, and I will again. And with, I hope that CSEA and the district can resolve these issues with respect and honest communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Rebecca Ledoux.
Good evening, trustees and Dr. Martinez. Across our district, educators are working tirelessly to provide a quality education for every single Twin Rivers student. We know that our district has millions in federal and state funding that have been allocated to bring in necessary resources for students and educators. So we have some questions. At a time when students and educators need more support and resources, Why won't the district consider leave accommodations in the event we get sick with COVID-19? People should never feel pressure to come to work when they are unwell, and this is especially true now. Why is the district replacing our high-quality MERV 13 filters with lower-grade MERV 8s? Why are students and staff in our schools without working HVACs? The district needs to hire more staff to maintain our MERV 13s and our HVAC units. And every indoor space should have a working HEPA portable air filter. Why are COVID-19 testing appointments only available during work hours? We should have access to appointments, and there should be plenty of staff to prevent nurses from being overworked during this pandemic. Why didn't the district hire enough people to complete contact tracing? Our nurses have been overburdened and are being told not to prioritize their usual job duties. Why can't the district hire more custodians and bus drivers to provide vital support to our students? Why are classes being collapsed and combined across the district at unprecedented levels? Students deserve better. Educators are working hard every day. Too many of us are leaving the profession. Their hearts are broken at the level of disrespect and disregard for our safety and well-being. With all the resources on the table, we should be talking about social workers, counselors, and other supports for students. Instead, we are educating in a district without enough staff and broken HVAC units in the heat of summer and a global pandemic. TRU has proposed an MOU to address a number of these issues and continues to try to work with district administrators. We all deserve a safe and healthy workplace. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is agenda item K, oral communications hearing of the public. These are for items that are not on the agenda. Mrs. Jefferson?
Yes, we have several speakers. Our first speaker is Nick Lorette de Mola.
Thank you, Madam President, trustees, and Dr. Martinez for the time. I'm the father of a nonverbal autistic first grade girl. The in-person education she's getting at Hillsdale Elementary is vital, and we appreciate her staff and teachers more than you could ever know. The first week of school, the buses to get her to school arrived late. The second week, the bus didn't arrive at all, and scheduling changes caused her to be dropped from the route. Transportation is now provided by unmarked vans, which arrive late and do not have scanners needed to ensure that our nonverbal daughter is brought to the correct location. We are grateful to Trustee Baker, who helped today on our immediate safety concern. But special needs children must be a top priority to ensure their safety and to ensure their security. There needs to be consistency in timing to ensure reliable transportation. The transportation app that's on the phone that the district provides does not provide any information. And I work in the technology field, and I'm unable to get it to function in the way that we're told that it should be functioning, as are other parents I know who have spoken to. So thank you for the time. We hope that we know that there are many issues around transportation right now, but we're hoping that any resolution to these issues is brought forth with the idea of special needs children and security and safety for those children in mind, as well as consistent timing of routes. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Padres Organized Community.
Yes, good evening. We're here to address a few issues. One, we're here to address the silencing of the community, as we were silenced at the last board meeting, and we've consistently heard over the years that the community is silenced. And we just heard from some of your employees that the community is silenced. We'd also like to address the issue of transportation. We noticed that the district has a listing for drivers, but the board or the district had no problem providing a bus to a local community organization and a driver to take them running around on personal field trips. So we want to know why our students aren't a priority, but your friends are. Also, we would like to know when, after 7 months, will we get action regarding the very racist acts of your Grant Union High School teacher who teaches Spanish, by the way. And also with regards to the comment earlier that was given in Spanish, are you not required to translate those? So you're honoring Hispanics, but you're refusing to actually hear them because I know not all of you speak Spanish. Thank you and have a nice day.
Our next speaker is, oh, that's on a different one. That's on a different one. Sorry. That's it for the comments.
Thank you very much. Next is agenda item L1, present summer professional development. Ms. Schroeder.
Thank you. Summer 2021 professional development. A variety of high-quality professional development was provided over the summer, not only to certificated staff, but classified as well. The first priority of professional development is how to support the improvement of student achievement. We're taking a look at how the plan was implemented. As you know, professional development should always focus on how to help certificated and classified staff support student achievement, therefore making us all better educators. To help develop the plan, the PD committee met several times over the year to provide input. Surveys were sent out to certificated, classified, and administrators to get additional feedback. The PD department utilized this information in the planning. Much of the summer content came directly from the feedback provided. Here's a fairly extensive list of the sessions that were offered to both certificated and classified staff. Now to the numbers. Over 2,300 certificated and classified personnel participated in one or more events. At the end of each professional development session, we surveyed the participants to get their feedback. So you can see question number 2 was rated really high. We got some great feedback, as well as on question 4. Some individual feedback on specific sessions. This is feedback from a chemistry session. Feedback from a visual and performing arts session. And finally, feedback from a session delivered by Dr. Caitlin Tucker, who is the author of the book. The final 3 days of professional development focused on a return to in-person learning. Teachers were tasked with developing a 6-week intervention plan at the end of the 3 days. I provided you a recap of what occurred in June, July, and August. The success of the summer professional development was a team effort by many people in many different departments. Thank you for your support and professional development. Do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you. Questions or comments from the board? Great. Well, thank you. Those were great scores to see. And so I want to thank you and your staff for putting that together, and to all the employees who are taking the time to continue to grow, so we can keep serving our kids the best way we can. So thank you so much. Appreciate the work and the presentation.
Thank you.
Next is agenda item L2, adopt resolution number 965 to pay absent board member Rebecca Sandoval. May I have a motion?
I'll move the item, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I'll second.
Okay, item has been moved. And so we will by trustee Bastian, seconded by Michelle Rivas. Rebecca Sandoval's absent, but trustee Bastian,
Aye.
Trustee Rivas.
Aye.
Trustee Baker.
Aye.
Trustee Fowler.
Aye.
Trustee Okara is absent. Trustee Jefferson's an aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, and I understand we have a comment on resolution number 966.
Yes, there's a comment to pay board member Michelle Rivas by Padres Organized Community.
Yes, good evening. We're here to comment regarding paying board member Rivas. As she is the president of the board, she shouldn't be missing meetings and she shouldn't be rewarded for missing them. Furthermore, she fails to actually listen to the community. She moves to silence and discredit them and then asks the board to do the same within the community. So we don't see why we should continue to pay her for doing so many disservices to our community because she only serves the people who elected her. Thank you.
Any other comments?
No more comments on
Thank
that.
you. May I
Thank you.
have a motion?
I'll move the item.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, the item has been moved by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Bastian. Trustee Sandoval is absent. Trustee Bastian,
Aye.
trustee Rivas,
Abstain.
Trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Aye.
trustee Okara, oh, he's absent, and trustee Jefferson's an aye.
Thank you. Next is adopt resolution.
Hang on,
number-
I'm sorry.
Madam President, that carries 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention, and 2 absent.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Next, adopt resolution number 967 to pay absent board member Christine Jefferson. May I have a motion?
I'll move the item.
I'll move
I'll
the
second.
item, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
That was a motion made by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Fowler. Trustee Sandoval is absent. Trustee Bastian,
Aye.
trustee Rivas,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Aye.
Okara is absent, and then myself, and I will abstain also.
The motion carries 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention, and 2 absent.
Yes.
Agenda item L5, adopt resolution 968 to pay absent board member Bob Bastian. May I have a motion?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Seconded. Okay, motion made by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Fowler. Trustee Sandoval's absent. Trustee Bastian.
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, trustee Rivas,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler. Trustee Fowler,
Aye.
trustee Okara is absent, and trustee Jefferson is an aye.
Thank you. Next agenda
The motion
item.
carries 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention, and 2 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is agenda item L6, adopt resolution 969 to pay absent board member Linda Fowler. Do we have a speaker to this item?
Yes,
Uh,
Madam President.
Yes, Madam President. The speaker is Padres Organized Community.
Yes, we are also asking that trustee Fowler not receive any more absent payments for a number of reasons. One being how divisive she is when things come up for students of color. 2 being how she has forced herself onto this board and has been divisive in her own neighborhood to ensure her seat continues to be filled by herself. And finally, for financially exploiting the district through the charter school. She's made enough money off of us. We don't need to pay her for not showing up. Thank you.
May I have a motion?
I'll move the item.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Baker, seconded by trustee Bastian. Rebecca Sandoval is absent. Trustee Bastian,
Aye.
trustee Rivas,
Aye.
trustee Baker,
Aye.
trustee Fowler,
Abstain.
trustee Okara is absent, and trustee Jefferson's an aye.
It carries 4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention, and 2 absent.
Thank you. Next is agenda item M, hearing of the public. We don't have any additional folks that we didn't call on previously, correct?
Correct.
No, there's
Okay,
none.
agenda item N, board superintendent communications. Do any trustees have any items they'd like to bring forward at this time? Hearing none, we will move on to agenda item O, board comments. Mr. Bastian.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank Superintendent Martinez and his cabinet for leading us through very difficult times, extremely difficult times. And Madam Chair, Vegas, I would like to dedicate this meeting to a past employee at Twin Rivers, Dolores Johnson. Dolores worked at Fairbanks Elementary School, Del Paso Elementary School, and she retired out of Twin Rivers in the Assessment and Accountability Division. She retired June 2019 from Twin Rivers. I'd like to dedicate this meeting to her memory and her wonderful job she did. Thank you, Madam Chair. End of my comments.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bastian, and condolences to her family. Ms. Fowler?
Thank you, Madam President. Whenever I have gone through several of the different kinds of due processes for individuals, both certificated and classified. And not only that, in my former job, what I would like to suggest is that somewhere down the road, and in the coming months, maybe when it gets a bit better, that we can all meet, that we have a session to maybe bring our lawyers in and have a session on really a presentation of employee rights. It seems that whenever we have an individual who may have crossed the line in somebody's mind, and probably so in others, that first of all, we want to start out with vengeance. And there's a really large number of cases in case law, both from the state Supreme Court and our federal Supreme Court, that gives rights to specific employees. And I think it would really be helpful if our board really understood the ramifications whenever you violate a rights of an employee. And I think it would feel really better that whenever we make any kind of judgments or the lawyers have given us a presentation of what our options are, that we can really understand a lot of it. I know that there is a tremendous number of cases out there that we would really learn from. And I think that if we're going to actually make adjudications on some employees, we ought to really know what those rights are so that we don't violate those rights, because individual rights is one of our most important things we have in America. And so I think it would be helpful if we had that. I'm not asking for a consensus. This is only a suggestion.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Ms. Fowler. Mrs. Jefferson?
Yes, I have a lot that's going on. I have a lot of emails from people that have been, with things that's going on in this district. And all I can say is that we are working on things, and hopefully we will be able to settle some of the emails that I got without going into length, because I get a lot. I am concerned about Grand High School. That's one of my schools. And I'm going to actually go over there and tour the school because I need to see what's going on over there. But I just would like to say thank you to all the parents and teachers in classified that are just hanging in there, and transportation, CSEA. I know it's hard. I'm not in your shoes. Just hang in there. Our kids are just, I think a trustee Rivas said it, they're happy to be back in school, or the parents wouldn't have them there. And so hopefully we'll be able to work out some things with the district and have a better way, but this COVID is really taking its toll on everybody. So just be patient. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Jefferson. Mr. Baker?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to echo Trustee Jefferson's comments. The staff, I keep saying in my private job, anybody who has any experience doing their job during a pandemic, please step forward because that person doesn't exist. So everybody from teachers to classified to the district office staff, everybody is learning how to do this in a pandemic. So be patient. The district is like, I'm with the same boat as Ms. Jefferson. I'm getting a ton of emails. Don't think for a minute that this district office does not care about what happens at our school sites, because that can be farthest from the truth. They hear the concerns, they're addressing them, and let's just throw it out there. Sometimes they get it wrong. And when they get it wrong, they're going to go back and try again, and then they're going to try again, and then they're going to try again. Let's just reiterate that nobody has experience running a school district during a pandemic. And this district office, the teachers, the classified, the bus drivers, the dispatchers, everybody is in this because they care about kids. So to the classified staff, thank you. The teachers, thank you. Police services, thank you. And to the district office staff, thank you for coming to work every day and continuing to fight the fight.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. So that does conclude the business of the board. We will meet again on Tuesday, September 21st. Meeting's adjourned.